Great morning, guys. Hope you're well. I'm just quickly going to do a post analysis video of the week's trades and the weekly analysis of NAS basically for the week that was past. So it's just a review, just to see what happened in the market and what we can expect more or less to happen in the next week. I'm not going to do a pre-week analysis now. I'll do that on Sunday tomorrow. I'll do a pre-week analysis. This is just to go through the trades of the week and see what NAS actually did this week. Okay, so as you can see, the week started here at this blue vertical line right here. So that's where the week started. Now we ended off pretty bullish last week. So as you can see, last week we created this double bottom formation on the 4-hour. Double bottom formation. We had a nice impulse to the upside. We had a lower high formation, and then we had a higher high formation, and then another lower high formation. Higher low formation. So what we could have expected is another impulse to the upside, and also told you guys that in the previous analysis video that we can expect another impulse to the upside, and that's exactly what we got here. So starting off the week, we consolidated a little bit here in this range. Just zoom in a little bit. So for a few hours we did consolidate here. Now there was still opportunities in this zone because this is actually the whole of Monday, but we didn't really find direction, so we consolidated, and then we had to break up and push to the upside all the way. So we created a new higher high on the 16th of March, and then we kind of rejected the zone. We melted back down again, and again we found support at the previous resistance. Okay, so knowing this, now we could have again expected a move to the upside, because we're finding support. We created higher highs, higher lows, and now we created finally another higher low formation and another impulse to the upside. What happened here was actually quite interesting. We never created a higher high, and the reason I say that is because the previous high is this zone right here. Let me just get my right tool here. I'm gonna hit the horizontal ray. So this was the previous high right there, and you'll see now what I mean if I drop down to the lower time frames. Remember, we're just on the 4-hour now. So what happened was it created a double top formation, and actually not the perfect double top, because it never even went to that wick. It literally rejected before that wick. So if you look here at this little wick right here, this one rejected and didn't pass the previous high, and then we kind of had this little meltdown and another push up, and then it just rejected and melted all the way down to create a new lower low formation. So what we can expect now from this lower low is to create a lower high formation, and I'm expecting it to pull into the zone of 1350, or it might even go higher to 13100. So I'm expecting that move to happen next week. So you might expect a corrective move to this zone right here, and then another impulse to the downside. So going on to the 1-hour, I'm just going to go through everything again and maybe see if I can see where I took some trades. Okay, so the week started off here. Now as you can see, even in this consolidation area, there was scalping opportunities for you guys, because what market did was, again, it created this resistance level, then it broke through. And what we can expect if it breaks through resistance again, that the resistance turns to support. So that's exactly what happened here. Resistance turned to support. So if I just draw my box zone here, you can see we found a perfect support zone right there. So there was a ton of buying opportunities there. I couldn't remember if I took buys or sells that day, but I know that there was a lot of opportunity. Then we had the big push to the upside, and again we hit a resistance level, but it broke through and it found support again, and it went higher and it gave another impulse. After this impulse, we kind of had a small meltdown, and that is why I didn't I kind of expected another move to the upside because this was the impulse. Then we found support again right here. So we took a buy in this zone right here. And that was on Tuesday, I think. I couldn't exactly remember. I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday. But we took a buy right here on the 15 minute. And what actually happened was this it just consolidated, so it never went in our direction. So what I was expecting, or what I was doing, is I was drawing a box zone. So I was drawing a box zone around this area right here, just like that. Let me just do this quickly. Settings, box 2. Okay. No, that's not right. Box 2. Okay. So that was our box range, and what happened was it actually then gave an impulse to the downside on the 1 hour, and it literally closed bearish engulfing. So it changed to bearish engulfing. It hit, it closed above or below all of these wicks, these rejection wicks. It closed below that. So that means it basically broke all of these structures. So if I go to the 15 minute, where is my chart now? Okay, so if I go to the 15 minute, we can clearly see that again we had a nice breakdown to the downside. And what happened was I took sells. So I didn't even hit my stop loss. I took out my positions earlier, the buying positions that I had in. I took it out earlier because of this box break. And because this thing broke out of the box properly, you could have even drawn the box just a little deeper like that. And yeah, so and it completely broke out of the box. And what had happened was it came and retested, and it gave this massive bearish engulfing candle. And after that, we had a proper meltdown. I think this was about 1,000 pip meltdown. And then it actually found support again. So that was a pretty good trade that I took. I can't remember if I took more trades that day. I think I actually did. I think I actually took another sell in this region right here. I took another sell, but this wasn't for too many pips. I think like 500 pips. And then we had this impulse to the upside. And and I think I actually, so this was the news event that happened. So this was a crazy impulse to the upside. This was like a 1 minute impulse. Like this was really crazy. So just to show you guys like how important some news events are and how it can actually influence the market, and it's really important to note that because if you have positions running and there's news events coming out, it's really important to just take note of that and to take note of what event is actually happening. So I'm going to go all the way back now on the 1 minute. So it's super important to actually know what event and what it means, if it's going to be positive or negative, the event. Now, I don't suggest you trade the news events, but just take note of it so it doesn't take you out. Okay, so what happened here was a massive, like this candle was like 800 or 1,000 pip move in 1 minute. Look at that. 1 minute, 800 pips. 2 minutes, 1,200 pips in 2 minutes. I mean, that's insane. So yeah, we had a massive push to the upside, impulse to the upside, and then we found another resistance. Let's see where that was now. It's here. And then we found resistance at the top right here. So as you can see, we never broke past the previous high. We basically rejected, came back down, went and retested the second rejection. So the second rejection, or the first rejection, we went to retest the first, but look here, this high was also not broken, and then we got this perfect Morningstar pattern. I mean, if you get confirmations like this, you have to take the trades, like seriously. And if you didn't get in on that pattern right there, right here, you could have waited for the retest again. And now what it created, a head and shoulder pattern. So now this is another perfect example of a great entry. And I actually compounded my position right here. So I entered first position here, second position here, and it just had a meltdown. So yeah, that was also a pretty good trade. And then the last few days, yeah, we just came back down. I'm just going to go to the 1 hour again. We came back down to retest the lows here, but now what happens is it created an impulse to the downside. So that means that the trend again is changing. You know, we might consolidate in this area, so we might go back up here, reject, come back down. It's not impossible, but we are in a bearish, you know, bearish channel or bearish trend now at the moment. But however, we can still take buying opportunities to the upside because this thing has to retrace. It has to retrace to at least like the 13,000 level or 13,100 level. Might go as deep as like 13,200 even. Not impossible, but it has to retrace. So we can capitalize on this retracement for buying opportunities. And then if it hits these zones, we can take a sell down. Now, if it does from this zone, right, it just starts to melt down, we can take selling opportunities, no problem. But it's just for us to see what's going to happen. And that's why I'll do a pre-week analysis tomorrow. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys understand what I mean when I look at the charts and when I see the stuff. I know that, you know, I might talk a little bit confusing or whatever, but really try to understand what I'm seeing. So again, the fundamental aspect is the market structure. So if you can understand the market structure, from there, everything else is going to be easier. Then you're just waiting for your confluences to line up. So that's basically your stars aligning. So to give you an idea, like confluences in this box right here, the first confluence was we had a very bearish impulse to the downside, so it never actually found a proper support at this resistance. It came down all the way and looked like it found the support, but the problem with this is after a big impulse like this, if it doesn't find support at the top region, it's probably going to melt down further. And then we had this rejection. So I took a buy, so my confirmations was on the buy that okay, it had an impulse, it had a rejection, but it correction, and then it found a support, and then it gave us this nice hammer, bullish hammer on the 1 hour. So that was for me a very powerful move, you know, and that's actually where I took some buys. And yeah, and then we melted. But then my confirmation on this sell trade was exactly after I drew this box zone. I was expecting a break to the upside or the downside, and we had a break to the downside. So my first confirmation was a break out of the consolidation area to the downside. My second confirmation was this bearish engulfing candle. This thing is heavy, like it looks like there's a lot of weight behind it. And the third confirmation was the retest of the box zone and rejection of the box zone. And then we had the meltdown. And I think I even had more confirmations going on to the lower time frames with my MAs and stochastics. So that was just the indicators, but I don't really use the indicators that much. Again, like I try to look at price action and what's actually happening in the market. So, because again, the indicators are good, but the indicators are only, again, showing you what happened in past data. It's not going to show you what's going to happen in the future. You know, it's really just an indicator to show you the average of the past data. So that's all it is. So yeah, my confirmations, that was my confirmations. And again, on the 50-minute, there was another bearish engulfing candle, so I added to my position there. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys would like, you know, videos on certain topics, please let me know. I have started this YouTube channel now last week, so it's still pretty new. So if you guys haven't yet, just hit the like and subscribe button, please. It'll help the video to gain some traction and, you know, show to more people. These type of information I want to share and get out there, guys, because it's powerful. And, you know, you can pay a course for it, but a course will teach you strategies, and a course will teach you like trend lines and like how to see use your indicators, candlestick patterns, all that type of stuff. But the most important thing to you to understand is market structure, and that you can only understand by really going into the charts and trying to understand what market structure is. Okay, so yeah guys, enjoy, hit the like and subscribe please, and if you want to share the video, really helps out a lot as well. And yeah, see you guys on the next video. Cheers.